Hello. For those that don't know me, my name is George Ignastu, Treasurer of Strongsville City Schools. Beginning with the last school year, as part of the district's strategic plan, we started a series of financial infographics to provide financial information to the community and other district stakeholders. This year, and continuing with our strategic plan, we are expanding that to provide a video component of me explaining the information that is on those infographics. In our first episode, we'll be covering the following information: the financial review for the year-end close of last school year, 2023-2024 fiscal year, a lead-in to the 2024-2025 school year annual budget that was presented and approved at the September 26th board meeting, and also the county reappraisal, which will go into effect January 1st of 2025. The school district financial year follows a calendar year beginning on July 1st and ending the following year on June 30th. Fiscal year 2024 revenues totaled $90.6 million, which is 2.3 or 2.55% higher than the previous fiscal year. Fiscal year 2024 expenditures totaled $85.3 million, which is $5.7 million or 7.18% higher than the previous fiscal year, which excluded last year's $25 million transfer to the Capital Projects Fund. In comparison to our 5-year forecast, fiscal year 2024 revenues were $269,000 or 0.3% higher than forecasted, while expenditures were $847,000 or 1% lower than forecasted. The over-under between revenues and expenditures was $1.1 million more than forecasted, while the carryover surplus for the year was $5.3 million, which is $3.5 million less than the previous year. As expenditures increases continue to outpace revenues, the carryover amount will continue to decrease, to the point where expenditures will exceed revenues. The year-end cash balance for fiscal year 2024 in the General Operating Fund was $51.3 million. At the September 26 Board of Education meeting, the Board of Education adopted the budget for the current school year, fiscal year 2025. As part of the budget process, a September budget forecast was also presented. The school district is required to present, adopt, and submit a 5-year forecast twice a year to the Ohio Department of Education and Workforce. The 2 reporting windows for the 5-year forecast are November and May. For the November forecast, the September budget forecast is updated based on the current trends for the fiscal year. The purpose of the 5-year forecast is to engage the Board of Education and the community in the long-range planning and discussion of the financial issues facing the school district, to serve as a basis for determining the district's ability to meet to certify contracts, and to provide a method for the Department of Education and the Auditor of State's Office to identify school districts with potential financial problems. Some additional notes about fiscal year 2025. Revenues totaled $87 million, which is $3.5 million or 3.89% less than fiscal year 2024. The decrease is primarily due to the expiration of the 2019 renewal levy. The district does have another 5-year renewal levy that was originally approved in 2006 that is set to expire in calendar year 2026. For the purposes of the forecast, the revenue from this levy is included in the future projections. Expenditures totaled $92.2 million, which is 6.8 or 8.02% higher than fiscal year 24. The increase is primarily due to increased personnel costs as well as additional positions moving into the general fund from expiring federal funds. Expenditures are budgeted to exceed revenues by $5.2 million, which will begin to decrease the district's cash balance, and thus our district will be deficit spending. The estimated ending cash balance for fiscal year 2025 is $46.2 million. As you will see in the year to come, expenditures will continue to outpace revenues and the gap of deficit spending will continue to increase until the cash balance will be exhausted in 2029, where the district would be in a cash deficit. Issue 53, the operating levy for the Strongsville City Schools, is on the November ballot. It is a $4.9 million continuous levy that will generate approximately $9.2 million annually for the district. If Issue 53 were to pass, revenues and expenditures would be about equal in fiscal year 2025, and deficit spending would begin in fiscal year 2026. However, the increased gap in deficit spending would be mitigated, while the district would rely on the cash balance to provide stability for the next 5 years. To see the full budget presentation, as well as previous 5-year forecast reports, presentations, and monthly financial reports, please visit scsmustangs.org and go to the Treasurer's Department tab. Recently, homes in Cuyahoga County went through a county reappraisal process. There are two types of county reappraisals: a sexennial reappraisal, which occurs every 6 years and are greater in scope as to the county physically views each parcel. Then there's the triennial update, which occurs every 3 years following the sexennial update. Under the triennial update, property values are trended using sales data. It is important to note that an increase or decrease in property value does not result in a comparable increase or decrease in property taxes due to House Bill 920 reduction factor. The House Bill 920 reduction factor, mandated by Ohio law in 1976, is designed to keep tax revenue stable when property values increase or decrease, meaning a property tax levy millage is adjusted so that taxpayers pay no more in taxes for a levy as they did when the levy was passed into law. As property values rise, the millage rate for a levy is reduced to ensure the levy only collects the amount it did when it was passed by the voters. The impact to the taxpayer will depend on how their property values changed in comparison to the city average of 28.39%. The county auditor's website has a county tax estimator to the individual impact to your property. It is also important to note that the tax estimator calculated amount is for your entire property tax, not just the portion earmarked for Strongsville City Schools. We hope that you found this information helpful and gained further understanding of the district's financial information. Should you have any specific questions or any additional questions about the information presented, please don't hesitate to reach out to me or my office at 440-572-7021. We look forward to continue sharing additional financial fast facts in the upcoming months. And go Mustangs!